Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 26th episode of the Gentleman's Gank podcast. My name is Jonathan.
My name is Pierre.
I'm Dominic. And I'm Tim.
And,
Who
alright.
is also definitely not Dominic.
Wow, Dominic, your voice got a lot deeper. Wow, did you, gain
Finally
6
hit
inches?
Well, I guess you're a little nicer than I am.
I don't know.
Moving
Alright,
on.
moving on. First topic of order is that there has been some match fixing amongst CSGO players. And they've been caught. And Valve has blacklisted them. There is a...
Define blacklisted.
They are no longer allowed into any tournaments with CSGO or any other game. So they can still... I think basically what happened is they're no longer allowed to play any significant multiplayer.
So what exactly did they do?
There was a lot of betting going on because actually CS:GO does have a
Oh.
very
So they were
large
throwing games to make money.
yes, and yeah, and they had the conversations and the texts to prove it, and yeah, so basically, don't be a jerk, and you won't get blacklisted.
And don't screw with Gabe Newell.
Oh, yes, especially that. Because even if you say that you're going to kill Gabe Newell, you're out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too surprised. I mean, it's nice to see that the esports you can't even call it a franchise because there's nothing established yet.
No.
I mean,
There's MLG, but that's not even...
That's not even as widely respected because it still limits. It doesn't have a full scope of all the games available. So
Yeah.
I guess best way to put it is, I don't know.
I mean,
Just it's good to see that there was a response done to this.
yeah. Speaking of MLG, it's funny that even MLG is a joke. And I don't mean just in general. I mean, specifically, MLG is a joke. When people are like, yeah, I'm totally MLG pro. Even gamers who are professional treat it as a joke. Which is almost sad for them. I'm sort of sorry, but at the
Well, on
same
some level,
time,
it's a lot of players just took themselves too seriously and started calling themselves MLG, and then it became an ironic joke
yeah,
because of that.
So at this point, it's those who know don't say, and those who say don't know.
yeah.
Pretty much.
On the same line of people doing bad things with games, maybe Ubisoft has taken a turn this week and deleted games from user libraries, claiming they were stolen.
Wait, what?
Yes, so specifically Far Cry 4 is the main one they hunted down, and they just deleted it from user libraries. This was not across the board, this was not everyone, this was just specific cases, but numerous, like hundreds of cases. And their claim was that while the user themselves might not have stolen them, so they didn't press charges or anything, they said that the keys used to activate the game were illegitimately obtained, either through reselling from another company or repurposed. And that's a pretty common thing, is from a different region, a cheaper region, for example, Russia. They would purchase the games there and then send the key codes and sell them in America, where the game is a lot more expensive.
So it's like getting the international edition of a textbook.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see why people are ticked about this.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I understand that they don't think that it was properly bought because they have region specifics for a reason, but still.
It is a little sketch on how it was handled.
Yeah, and especially because they're just, I'm gonna delete this, I'm gonna delete this. Yeah, that reminds me of a recent Saturday morning breakfast cereal comic, uh, where a man walks into a room and asks, to a room with a cloaked man, and Master, would it be possible to use the fourth edition of your textbook rather than the new fifth edition? They appear to be identical in content, but I can get the fourth edition from another student. Of course. I mean, you don't really believe microeconomics of the American public sector has changed in the last 12 months, do you? Truly, you are a glorious master. But then there is one matter for you to consider. I have altered the given values in 20% of the homework problems. Mwahahahaha. Oh, wait, I'll just go download it illegally. But that's unethical.
So here's my major question for Ubisoft. So, for most of these people that they say stole the keys, if they bought them from another region or something like that, not only did the customers pay money for the keys to get them, probably, Ubisoft was given their money from those regions to get the game.
Yeah.
Why do they care?
Well, and especially if you have friends like, well, I mean, they're getting less money because anything overseas does get less money. And believe me, I know this information because I've been researching it for the past week. Yay, going into development for your own company and writing out contracts and everything gives you a lot of information. Um, if
Yeah, I can
you're
imagine.
if you're giving the rights to publishers for a game, that publisher publishes only in that country, and they do a third-party publisher for outside of that. And that's pretty much across the board. There are some few publishers that are international publishers, but like I said, few. And so the game developers get a portion of the money from the publisher, and the publisher gets a portion of the money from the third party, and so the designers get a portion of the portion for anything outside the country. So they're getting a fraction of what they would if it was in state.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Apple recently. A lot of iPads and Apple products have been being sold overseas for earnings, making serious money because they're charged overpriced outside the U.S.
Yeah.
So a lot of the copies can be the same way on the other end of the spectrum. The U.S. being such a large market, you can charge a certain amount and it just go unquestioned. Um,
The the
doing in
the problem I have with this though, because it makes business sense for that, but it also at the same time, I have friends that live in the Netherlands. I do, and I play games with them, and sometimes they gift me games. I don't give them money so that they can gift me games so I get cheaper games. They just, hey, it's your birthday, here's a game. It's very legitimate. And, you know, you can't stop that. That's. I have a problem with that.
yeah, it's I respect Ubisoft for trying to do something about the market and how it's being how digital sales are just dropping dramatically because most games put out on PC are stolen. But there's still the issue of that doesn't seem like the right way to handle it.
Hmm.
In this specific avenue, people who bought games in other countries to play in this one, what's the most they probably would have lost? Thousands, maybe tens of thousands, probably not.
Well, frankly, the PC gaming market's never been big with Ubisoft because they never port well to the US port for the PC.
That's a point.
Yeah.
I've played some of their recent games. They do not optimize well for PC. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's
But
even
anyway,
worse on
so
console.
with lost revenue, it's what, maybe thousands of dollars. They've
I'd
probably lost more than that in bad PR at this point.
I'd
Well,
say in the
it's
minimum probably $10,000.
but you have to look at it on their aspect of how much money they would make from non-theft,
Yeah.
and how many people, if those who had stolen had actually purchased, it would
No,
be.
what I mean is
Is
what I
is
mean is
how
the
much
amount
they
of money
lost.
they would have made if the games had been bought in the U.S. over the amount they actually did make because they were bought somewhere else. How much
Yeah.
do they lose like that?
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
And
I can
and
agree
that's
with that.
probably about $10,000, maybe a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It costs a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But for a company as big as Ubisoft, and especially with as many games as they put out, I would guess they've probably lost that much in. Oh, I think I already said this. Lost that much in bad publicity.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh
Ubisoft
yeah.
always makes great games, right?
Oh yeah, always. This is
Of
definitely going
course.
to make people love them after Unity.
Wait, what? What game was that?
I don't know. I can't
It's a
imagine.
game that was put on the same shelf as Matrix 2 and 3.
That's a good way of putting it.
I'm I'm pretty sure Ubisoft would love for us to forget that game. All right, moving on because we have spent way too much time on that one. AOL, yes, the creators of the internet.
Is that still a thing?
Yes, AOL
Does the
is
internet still exist?
AOL is still a company. I don't. It's hard to say what they really do. Uh, but they mostly they just own other stuff.
Yeah, isn't it just AOL Time Warner now? Is it really its own company anymore?
Is it Time Warner?
I don't know if that actually became part of Time Warner. I mean, Time Warner has been growing exponentially. I'm surprised, like, they haven't tried to put a stop to that. But it might just be that I'm getting a little. I think I don't think they've taken on that company yet.
I am
Oh,
on
no.
the pedia of wikis.
Gentlemen, we had it the other way around. AOL purchased Time Warner.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
that would explain why.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, AOL also owns. Oh crap! I just forgot what I was gonna say. AOL also owns Joystick.com. And then there was silence.
I'm trying to remember what exactly that is.
You don't know what Joystick is?
I've heard of it. I
That's
don't ever visit it.
that's really sad.
Yeah, it probably is. So just tell me.
That's
And
really
those of our listeners who don't know what it is anyway.
Joystick is, as they say, the definitive source for news and information on the video game industry. It is
Doesn't
basic,
every news and information source on the video game industry say that about itself?
basically. Um, it also includes Massively. It's a sub newsletter which is your best source for all the latest news on what's happening in MMOs, and WoW Insider, which I don't really think I need to explain. It's pretty much out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing as PC Gamer, and well, I mean PC Gamer focuses on PC games, but it's the same as every other game magazine, but it's actually one that's pretty well loved even above other um, uh, game news and information sources. But they're going bye bye. I do like how it was announced though, because it hasn't actually been announced. Um, there were a bunch of rumors going around that a number of game news networks picked up, and they picked up on it and were reporting on it, and so Joystick picked up on it and was like, AOL is likely to shutter Joystick, reports Recode. Hey, wait a minute, that's us! Well, we may as well handle this the same way we've been covering the video game industry for 10 years. And then they go on to say, we do not comment on rumor and speculation, one staffer told us, wishing to remain anonymous, preparing for their lucrative PR career. Others are still trying to figure out next steps. Another anonymous staffer said, we're still working until we can't. Sources tell Joystick that the staff is aware of the closure, but corporate hasn't officially told them, so they are unable to acknowledge anything out of concern that it will cause immediate shutdown. We've reached out for more information. We will update, as we always have, when we know more. And that's...
It's sad when you have to find out through the grapevine that your own company is going down.
No, they already knew, but they just hadn't reported on it. And I like the way they take it in stride. It's...
Well, it's better than how some of the other companies. Wait, isn't it THQ that went under?
TH what?
T- Sad. We won't ever see another Darksiders.
Alright, yeah, THQ, creator of Darksiders, Darksiders 2, Saints Row, Company of Heroes.
Didn't they do Kingdoms of Amalur too?
No. No.
What?
No. Wait, Kingdoms of Amalur 2, did you say?
Kingdoms of Amalur as well.
Okay. Also no. I was saying no for the first one, and I was like, wait, did he mean 2? Like the number 2? No, that was by 38 Studios and Big Huge Game, published by Electronic Arts.
Yes, that is correct.
Nothing to do with THQ.
Thank God.
Far be it. And let's try and we can talk about one more sad thing before we start, talking about actually happy things.
Happy things. Happy places.
George Lucas claims that he sold Disney his entire idea for Star Wars Episode 7 while he was selling Lucasfilm. And Disney said no.
Which is great news.
And actually, Disney didn't say no that he didn't sell them. Disney scrapped it. Disney said, yes, we will take it. And we will shred it.
Pretty much.
And my favorite, I've seen this throughout the internet on different comics, but my favorite version of this is the Control-Alt-Delete comic, which it sets up the scene and it says, apparently Disney didn't decide to use it. And the secondary character says, $4 billion to literally throw George Lucas's ideas into the garbage? What a bargain! Oh, how true. Yeah. So moving on. Happier news. The Legend of Zelda comic makes a comeback. Pierre, take it away, because none of us know anything about that.
I mean, well, have any of you actually read it?
No.
It's actually really, really good. It's pretty much they actually did, I would say, a good job of portraying Link in that he is still kind of character that anyone can enjoy and anyone can relate to without making him unapproachable or uncharacteristic. And it just, I like it. Everything about it just seemed like it was enjoying itself. The whole thing about the comics is it was, well, how do I put it? They were to follow the plots of all of the Legend of Zelda video games. You've had ones for Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, Wind Waker.
And specifically the original one, which is the one mentioned in the article we read.
Yes, no. There's also talk of Link to the Past comic book.
Yeah.
And that's big news because a lot of people have been a big fan of this, and they were releasing them at a nice steady pace for a while there, and they just stopped. I think it's most likely because they ran out of the Japanese manga, because that's what it was originally is the Dark Horse was publishing them,
Mm-hmm.
and
I love Dark Horse.
once Japan stopped making new ones, well, new comics, it was up to the U.S. to. It was just the U.S. didn't have anything left to make, so
Mm-hmm.
you ended up with nothing. So this is kind of big news, kind of not too big news, but still a nice thing to have around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's got me excited.
It's got a lot of people excited, not just you.
Yeah.
Alright, and I think that's it for this week. Y'all got anything to add?
Nah, I think
No,
that's
I
about
think
it
I'm
for me.
Very good then. Well, we will see you next time. This has been Jonathan.
Pierre.
Dominic and Tim. Tim didn't talk a whole lot in this one.
Funny. Neither did Dominic, actually. Funny, their voices sound very familiar. Alright, well, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
See you.